Let's imagine two students graduating from the same college. Both of them are excellent in their studies. But one of them lands a job and the other one doesn't. The problem isn't their intelligence, because both of them are very smart. I also think the problem wouldn't be their language, but it definitely was communication. In this video, I'll show you the 7 common mistakes that most of us do in terms of communication. But before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Swati Baliga from Vikasit Vidya. At Vikasit Vidya, we focus on practical skill development programs that help people just like you understand what are the skill sets important to be employable in today's market. Common mistake number 1: speaking before thinking. Most of us feel that we are being constantly judged, and that's true, I agree as well. But if you're being asked a question, there is no need for you to immediately jump right into the answer, and that's common human tendency, what most of us do. The moment we are asked a question, we will immediately pounce to reply even before we actually think what we need to speak. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in an interview and you are being asked, please introduce yourself. You are only able to answer what your name is. Just like, hi, my name is Swati. I'm a law graduate. And I'm blank. Right? So this happens to most of us, and it's more common than you think it is. Okay? But instead, if you took a moment to think what your answer would be, or this is a very common question, something that you always go prepared for. But if you aren't, and if it's a question that comes right in the moment, or the interviewer is putting you in a spot, don't panic. Just calmly pause and think. Here's a pro tip for you. Never, I repeat, never say myself XYZ or myself Swati. That is wrong English. So rather what you can use is I am, or my name is. For example, instead of saying myself Swati Baliga, what you can rather use is I am Swati Baliga, I'm Swati Baliga, or my name is Swati Baliga. This is the grammatically correct way to begin your sentence. As long as mistake 1 is concerned, it's always wrong to first speak before you think. Rather, what you must do is think before you speak. Doesn't that look very odd? It looks very casual. And this is common communication mistake number 2, poor body language. People are going to judge you even before you speak. In the first 3 seconds of your first look, they are going to create a first impression of you. Maintaining good body language is extremely simple, so you can follow with me. Okay? Stand upright. Keep your head held high. There's nothing for you to keep your head low above. Make sure that your chin is parallel to the ground. Your shoulders are relaxed and not either slouched or not too high. The shoulders have to be relaxed. You can place your hands to the side or on your lap, or simply if you're giving a presentation or you're going to speak, you may hold your hand here at your waistline. Okay, so it is the same line as your belt. Okay, so you may place your hands either like this, simply like this, or you may interlock the fingers like this. So this will help you, keep your hands in place, not make your hands very awkward. So if you follow these steps, your interviewers or anyone sitting in front of you is going to instantly take you very seriously, because it makes you look very assertive. It makes you look very important. So, what are the steps of non-verbal communication that are extremely important? First one is to maintain eye contact and smile. When someone's talking to you, if you're on your phone, they're going to feel unimportant. Rather, if you maintain eye contact and talk to them, they will feel important. They will want to talk to you more. Maintain a nice smile. Don't smile very awkwardly like or like you're being paid to smile. just have a very slight, simple smile. You know, there's something called as smiling with your eyes. It's called the smize. So you're smiling with your eyes in a way that you're just like squinting it and making your face look very calm and composed, so that you're making the other person feel comfortable. So that is step one. That is a tip that you can take. The next one is the confident posture. That is what we practiced. Stand upright, head held high, shoulders relaxed, hands in the front. And the last one is to dress well. It's very important to be well dressed. You know, people judge you from the bottom up. So it starts right from your shoes. So what shoes you wear has to match your outfit as well. So, you know, you don't have to buy expensive clothes. It's what you wear needs to be neat and clean. So these are little tips that will help you look well put together. Moving on to common communication mistake number 3. Using casual language. These days, a lot of us use very common slangs like yeah, no, bro, dude, fam, and so on, right? So every other day we wake up, there's a new slang that is trending popularly, and we try to inculcate these words into our everyday vocabulary. So it's very, very important that we make sure that these slangs are kept for our casual use, whereas we build a vocabulary that is meticulous for our professional use. So there are casual words like yeah, no, cool, awesome, fam, bro, dude. Such words shall be avoided. Rather, you can use words like certainly, absolutely, thank you. It's very simple. Instead of saying thanks, use thank you, or I appreciate that, and I'd be happy to. So these are words that are very, very simple but will have a lasting impact. It will make you, more than anything, seem extremely confident. Common communication mistake number 4. Writing a professional email. Today, in the corporate world, emails are everything. From asking for a leave to making sure that you're, notifying your customers about being out of office, everything happens over an email. Corporate communication does not happen over calls or on WhatsApp or Instagram for that matter. So it's extremely important that now we learn how to write good emails. Okay? So there are certain parts of an email that we must make sure that we excel. So first one will be the subject line. Keep your subject line very brief. Do not write your entire body right there in the subject. Keep it very brief, to the point, so that the other person understands what the email is about and opens your email, because subject is what pops up in your inbox. Correct? Then, sending it to. There is the column on CC and BCC, which you must be able to differentiate between. It is carbon copy and blind carbon copy. You have to fill in the to address properly. Make sure that it's a verified email address. So this is all up to you. Then comes the body. So when you're typing the body of your mail, make sure that you're not writing an entire novel or an essay. Keep it very brief. Keep it to the point so that the person reading it will be able to understand what you're trying to say. Do not beat around the bush. When you're sending in your resume via email, that's it. That decides whether you're getting the job or not. They will judge you on the basis of your email whether or not you're going to be able to communicate with customers in the future. So that email will determine whether you get your job or not. So make sure that whatever you're writing in your email is well written. AI has, made our lives so much easy, right? So what you can do, put this email of yours, whatever you have typed, into whichever AI bot that you like, okay? And then find a way to redraft that email in a better format. But make sure that email is humanized, okay? Because otherwise it will look very AI. If you are, planning to attach something, you have referred that, okay, please find an attachment of my resume herewith, okay? And you forget to put in that resume as an attachment. That is also irresponsible behavior. So don't forget to attach your files. So that is something you can try out and, learn or start practicing writing more and more emails. Moving on to common communication mistake number 5, not listening, right? There are two kinds of people. People like me who love to yap. We're just talking all the time. And then there are people who love to listen. But when it comes to communication, it is very, very important that you are able to listen as much as you are able to speak. Because professionals focus on listening and understanding more than talking. Okay? So most of us listen to reply. But it's very important, or what makes you a professional is if you listen to understand. Right? So when you are getting, let's say, an instruction from your manager, and they're giving you all these details over a phone call, and they're just, going on talking. If you don't listen, if you deviate or you zone out, okay, which is the worst, then you will not be able to understand what they have assigned to you. And you won't be able to perform your task well. You will miss out on some fact. So a tip that you can take here is noting down. Whenever someone important is telling you something important, make sure that you're noting it down. Okay? There's no harm in that. In your own words, you don't have to write the exact same words. That is one way to do it. Or let's say you're talking to your friend and you want to be a good listener to your friend, isn't it? Whenever they're telling something important about their life, something that has happened, you want to listen to them, you want to console them. So it's extremely important to be a good listener, and that is one skill set that you can carry with you very easily without putting in a lot of efforts. Okay? Next, we move on to common communication mistake number 6, which is saying, I don't know. We're not born knowing everything. It's okay to say that you don't know something, okay? It's okay to not know everything, but rather taking ownership of the fact that you don't know and respecting the other person by getting back to them later. So this is something I learned back in law school, when in moot court competitions, there is a common moot court etiquette that we are taught of. When the judge asks you a question you are unaware of, you simply have to say, Your Lordship, the counsel seeks ignorance, and the counsel will get back to you after a brief period of learning. So something of that sort. So what happens here is, the judge knows that you do not know it, but at least you're being respectful and apologizing for not knowing something, and that you're getting back. So, instead of just simply saying, I don't know, and ending it there, you will seem very casual and like you don't care. What you can rather do is, you can tell, I'm sorry, I'm not certain about this at the moment. However, I will learn about it and I will get back to you at the earliest. So that way, it instantly impresses them. It will make them seem like you care, and it will definitely earn you brownie points at your workplace. And now finally, the 7th common communication mistake, which is my most favorite, waiting for confidence. We're not born with confidence. Confidence is built on the go, okay? So never wait for you to be confident to do something, because that day will never come. Most of us get very, very, very nervous. And it's okay to be nervous, okay? Nobody becomes a master at something in spite of years of practice. You will still feel that nervousness. But what is very important is being able to stand in front of the camera, to stand in front of the audience, to stand in front of your interviewers. If you're able to do that, with a simple smile, you will hide that, nervousness. It will come with action. So take the first step and you will gain confidence. Next one is to practice regularly. It is only with regular practice that you will be able to communicate well. The last one is that confidence follows. So if you take action and you practice, confidence will follow. And those are my 7 tips for you to improve your corporate communication. So friends, communication is not about speaking perfect English. It's about making people trust you with confidence, with determination. So if you're able to make people trust you, you have mastered the art of communication. So practice these 7 steps, and if I've been able to help you even a teeny tiny bit, then please hit the like button, drop in your comments, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with your friends who you think will gain, more confidence after watching our video. Thank you and see you next time.